Om Savana Bhavatu Sano Bhunaktu Sabiryam Karavavahai Tejasvinabadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May Brahman protect us, may he guide us, may he give us strength and right understanding. May love and harmony be with us all. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Vedantasara of Sadananda Yogendra. In our last class, we talked about individual soul and the blissful sheath. The Atman which is within us is covered by 5 sheaths. The first sheath is called Anandamaya Kosha, blissful sheath. The second covering is called intellectual sheath. Third, mental. Fourth, vital. Fifth, physical. So this pure consciousness which is within is covered, so we do not see it. This individual soul has 3 states: waking state, dream state, sleep state. In the waking state, we enjoy the objects through the senses. In dream state, we enjoy the world, the objects through the mind. In dreamless sleep state, we enjoy through ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. The greatest mystery of man is man himself. Vedanta will teach us how to unveil this mystery. Raman Maharshi, a great teacher of Vedanta, used to teach his followers only one thing. Anybody would come to him, he would say, just ask yourself, who am I? That is your spiritual discipline. Day and night you think, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Nothing else. That's it. Is this body myself, my mind, my name, my form? They come and go. They are not permanent. My family, my name, my home, all these addresses, these are all changing, all the time changing. Find out which is real I, who is your real I. Perhaps you remember in my last class I was trying to connect this human being with God. How we are related, our relationship is very important. The dualists say that God is eternally separated from me, is separate from me. In Vedanta tradition, we see there are 3 kinds of relationship. When you have very physically oriented, when you have a body consciousness, you must practice, oh Lord, you are the master, I am your servant, or you are the father, I am your child. If you are extremely body conscious, try to establish relationship with that way. You are the master, I am the servant, you are my father, you are my mother, I am your child. This is the way established relationship. Second step, when you are little advanced in spiritual life, you feel, Lord, you are the whole, I am your part. like sun and its rays. All the rays of the sun are connected with the sun. The relationship between the whole and the part. Your body is the whole thing, your hand, your other limbs of the body are the parts of your body. But they are all related, connected. Then the third kind of relationship is Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am God. It sounds blasphemy. Huh? Christ also said, I and my Father are one. Now I shall read. Tadanim eto ishvara pragau chaitanya pradiptabhi oti sukshmabhi ajnana vrittivi anandam anubhavata anandho chetamukha prajnah iti shrutehe sukham aham aswapsam na kinchid avedisham iti uttitasya paramarsho upapattesya. In the state of dreamless sleep, both Ishvara, God, and prajna, this individual soul, through a very subtle function of ignorance, illumined by consciousness, enjoy happiness. As in the Upanishad's passage, prajna, the enjoyer of bliss with consciousness for its age, is the third aspect. As also from such experience of a man awaking from dreamless sleep as, I slept happily, I do not know anything. In dreamless sleep, do you have a mind? That is the question. No, you don't have any mind. Your senses merge into the mind, and the mind merges into its source, that is ignorance. The mind does not function in deep sleep. But mind is not there, but prana is there. Your vital force is there, otherwise you would die. If you do not breathe in dreamless sleep, this body will be a corpse. So the prana, this vital force, this energy, preserves the body in dreamless sleep. But mind goes to sleep. Mind merges. You know, really, if you analyze this human body, what is going on in a particular day, you will be amazed at what is going on inside you. Unconsciously, so many things. You digest your food. Do you make any effort? No. You just put your food. The stomach has its own function. We unconsciously digest our food. There are many things in our body. We function unconsciously. But in dreamless sleep also, you experience joy, happiness. How do you know? When you come back from dreamless sleep, you say, "Oof, what a beautiful sleep I had. So much peace. I am so happy that I had such a wonderful sleep. I slept like a log. The thief entered my house, took away everything. I did not know anything." See, even at that time in dreamless sleep, you have the knowledge of not knowing anything. Negative way, put it in a negative way. The thief entered, took all my possessions, I did not know anything. In Chandogya Upanishad, we find a mantra. Sata Saumyo Tada Sampanno Bhavati. Then in dreamless sleep, my dear, he, Jiva, individual soul, becomes one with existence, Ishvara. Every night we touch God. We go to God. We merge into God. But we do not know it. We go through ignorance. For that reason we do not know it. sleep. Sleep is nothing but tamas, ignorance. We go to God every night. For the reason you feel rested. People say if you want rest, you go to God. Go to the church. Go to the temple. You will get rest. That rest. In dreamless sleep also we really go to God, but we come back like stupid people. Vedanta says you can go to God in that stage through meditation. That is the mystery, how to do it. That is called samadhi. Sadananda Yogendra, the author of this book, will discuss elaborately about samadhi. Samadhi means where your mind dissolves. As in dreamless sleep your mind dissolves into ignorance, in samadhi your mind dissolves into cosmic consciousness. See the difference? Difference between dreamless sleep and the samadhi. In dreamless sleep, mind dissolves into ignorance, and in samadhi, the mind, the chitta vritti. You see, in dreamless sleep, there is no waves of the mind. But in samadhi, wave is there. But that wave is aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Only that vritti is there. No second vritti, no second thought. We shall discuss these things elaborately later. In dreamless sleep, when everything is absorbed, the jiva, overpowered by ignorance, attains the stage of happiness. Anayo, basti samasto, brahvikshayo, iva jalashayo, iva cha aveda. Etad upahitayo ishvara pragnayo, opi vanavirkshavat. Vanavirksha avachinna akashayo, iva va aveda. Esha sarveshara, esha sarvegya, esha antarjami, esha jonihi. Sarvaisya prabhavapayu hi bhutana mitadi shrutehe. This aggregate and individual ignorance are identical like a forest and the trees, or a reservoir and the water. As the space enclosed by the forest is identical with the space enclosed by the trees, or as the space reflected in the water is the same as the space reflected in the reservoir, similarly, God and individual soul associated with these aggregate and individual ignorance are identical. There are such Shruti passages as He is the Lord of all, He is omniscient, He is the inner controller, He is the source of all, He is the cause of the origin and destruction of creatures. Perhaps you remember I gave that analogy. What is God and what is man or human being? The whole forest, remember, is God. And you are an individual tree, I am an individual tree. All these millions of individual trees are in the forest. But we are parts of that forest. Here is a reservoir full of water. But as billion drops of water made that reservoir. You are a drop of water, I am a drop of water. He, she, each individual being is a drop of water. So sum total of individual beings is God. You remember 2-3 classes before we explained this concept of God according to Vedanta. Brahman associated with cosmic ignorance, Maya, is called God. Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana, preponderance of Sattva quality. Let me give an example. Ocean, vast Pacific Ocean, Paras Brahman. And some part of the ocean is wavy, is agitating, moving. That is God. Action. Creation, preservation, destruction. That is some action is going on in God, you see. Ita Ishvara Pragro Banavikshansa. Then Sadananda Yogendra quoted from the Upanishad, Isha Sarveshwara. He is the Lord. Believe, what do you mean by Lord? He has full control over his creation. He is the Lord of all human beings. He is the Master. The sun, moon, the nature, the season, everything move according to the will of God. Isha Sarvajna. He is all-knowing. He knows individually, he knows collectively. Sarvajna. Isho Antarjami. He is seated inside, indwelling self. Isha Jonihi. He is the source. And creation, evolution, and dissolution, everything happens here. He is the cause of the evolution, origin, and dissolution also. This is the way they gave the description of God. Now the question arises. You see, I have no mind in dreamless sleep. How can I experience joy? How can I experience joy in dreamless sleep? Generally, in our day-to-day life, we experience happiness, misery through the mind, waves of the mind, vritti. I am happy, I am unhappy. These thought waves tells me that the position, that I experience. But at that time, there is no mind in dreamless sleep. How can I experience that joy, that happiness? This teacher says, you see, mind is not, the vritti is not there, but the samskara is there. I shall have to explain what he means. This individual consciousness remains, but mind is not there. So this Atman reflects of that individual consciousness. And that remains, that memory, that experience, that feeling remains, and that it comes when we in the waking state. Please watch one thing. In all three stages, your consciousness remains. You are never devoid of consciousness. In the waking state, your consciousness remains. Otherwise, you cannot function, you cannot work, you cannot talk, you cannot listen. In dream state, consciousness remains. Otherwise, you cannot say the dream. In dreamless sleep state, your consciousness remains. In dead body, does consciousness remain? Yes. But prana is not there. The energy is not there. Please show me what do you mean? It is something new to us that in dead body. Do you know why? Consciousness is all pervading, everywhere. If the electric bulb is burnt out, what do you do? That means is not electricity there? You take this bulb and put a new one, immediately light will come. Electricity is there. Try to understand this way, that when Vedanta says consciousness is all pervading, is everywhere, in everything, in every being. It is, this whole universe is never devoid of consciousness. But we do not experience it. As I said, in dead body we say that, oh, he is dead, oh, he has no consciousness. Hurry! Consciousness is all pervading. Atman is everywhere. But his subtle body is not there. With prana, vital force, mind, all these things are not in dead body. It goes away. It leaves. The subtle body leaves. Sadananda Yogendra will explain the subtle body, how it works, how it goes, how it originates. You will just explain everything to us. Sanskar remains. Impressions remains in the memory. If somebody asks you, could you tell me about your childhood days? You will close your eyes, perhaps you will rub your forehead. Immediately you will be able to tell me that when you were a little, child, your teacher and your nursery school and these various things you will be able to tell. Because those things, those impressions are in the storehouse of your mind, in the memory. Similarly, this joy, bliss, peace, anything you have done in your life, those things are there. You can bring that memory back at any time. Sometimes we say God is always blissful. God is embodiment of bliss, peace, happiness. Do you know why? Because God is the only thin veil on Brahman. So God does not have the mind. God does not have any projecting power. That will come in the next stage. You must have my list. Then you can visualize when I am talking, what is this thing. Here is Brahman, beyond Maya. In the second stage, Ishvara, God, with a veil, only a thin veil, just like a saram wrap. You can see everything. That is Ishvara, God. Next stage is Hiranyagarbha, the subtle universe, the subtle body. Next stage is Virat, the gross universe, the gross body. These are the 4 stages. In this stage, in the Ishvara stage, you are connected with Prajna, individual soul. In dreamless sleep. Perhaps I have 1 or 2 pamphlets are there. Those who do not have that thing can pick it up. Can anybody divide ignorance? That is the question. Taking an axe, you can cut a tree and make the tree into 2 pieces. Can you cut this ignorance, Maya, that way? Can you divide it? Hey, you have ignorance, I have ignorance, he has ignorance, she has ignorance. Can you divide ignorance? That is another question. The answer is, can you divide a space? But yes, Swami, I can. How? It is cup space, it is jar space, it is my bathroom space, it is my kitchen space, it is my dinette space, this is my room space, this is St. Louis space, it is... Just break the wall and the roof. It becomes one with the cosmic space. We divide a space through various objects, various walls, but actually we cannot divide it. It is always one, indivisible. So this Atman, pure consciousness, is indivisible. The next one, the nature of Turiya. This one is very interesting. Vanuvrikshu tadavichanna akashayoho jalashayo jala tadgato pratibimba akashayo ba adharabhuta anupahita akashavat anayo ajnana tadupahito chaitannayo adharabhutam jat anupahitam chaitannam tatturiyam uchyati shantam shivam advaitam mannante ittadi shrutehe idam eva turiyam shuddha chaitannam ajnanadito upahito chaitannabhyam taptayo pinjavat abhiviktam sat mahavakyaisa vacham viviktam sat lakshamiti uchyati. This part you will have to understand. It is very interesting. Turiya, the transcendental consciousness, unlimited consciousness. What is that? You see, according to Western psychology, we understand conscious means waking state. We are talking about subconscious, we in a dream state, unconscious in a dreamless, in sleep state. But there is another thing which is superconscious that we do not find in Western psychology. Superconscious. What is that superconscious? Superconsciousness. Like the unlimited space, which is the substratum of the space enclosed by the forest and the trees, or of the space which is reflected in the water and the reservoir, there is an unlimited consciousness which is the substratum of the aggregate and the individual ignorance, as well as of this consciousness, Ishvara and Prajna, God and individual beings associated with them. This is called the fourth, as in such Shruti passages as that which is tranquil, auspicious, without a second, that the wise conceive of as the fourth aspect. He is the self, he is to be known. Sadananda Yogendra, the author of the book, is telling us this deep forest, vast forest, and these individual trees, they are limited by the space. But is the space limited by the forest and the trees? No way. There are more unlimited spaces there. This water, billion drops of water in the reservoir, and here is the space reflected, contained here. Is the space limited here only? No. There is more unlimited space apart from this reservoir and the drops of water. Similarly, the consciousness which is reflecting in you, me, is the consciousness limited there? No. Consciousness is unlimited. It is the infinite. In the Mandukya Upanishad, we read, Turiya means the fourth, means transcendental consciousness, is not that which is conscious of the inner subjective world, not that which is conscious of the outer objective world, not that which is conscious of both, not that which is mass of consciousness. It is not simple consciousness, nor is it unconsciousness. It is the unperceived, unrelated, incomprehensible, uninferable, unthinkable, and indescribable. The essence of the consciousness manifesting as the self in the three states, it is the cessation of all phenomena. It is all peace and all bliss and non-dual. This is what is known as the fourth, Turiya. This is Atman, and this has to be realized. But Swami, if there is such a thing, how can we think of it? It is beyond mind, beyond senses, beyond speech, beyond everything. How can I go there? How can I conceive of it? How can I reach that transcendental realm beyond Maya? How? Existence, consciousness, bliss, that is Brahman. Nama, Rupa, name and form, that is this world. A Nama, Rupa, name and form, must be dissolved. Name and form originate from ignorance, duality. You see, he is telling Advaitam, it is non-dual. Who makes this world dual? Your mind. The dreamless sleep, there is no duality. You are so happy. You are peaceful in dreamless sleep. All problem in the waking stage and the dream state. All ego problem, the financial problem, this problem, that problem, all the complexes, craziness, everything is in the waking state and this dream state, mostly waking state. How can we solve this problem? Remember, ignorance is the mother of all evils. We must first eradicate this ignorance. How can we do it? Bring light, then darkness will go away. Bring knowledge, ignorance will go away. How can I bring knowledge? For that reason, you will have to practice meditation. You will have to practice spiritual disciplines. For the reason we need a teacher, for the reason we need to study these scriptures, for the reason we must practice meditation and spiritual disciplines regularly, mind will be lighted. Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful analogy. Most human minds are wet, soggy. That's like wet matchbox. You try to ignite with a matchstick, your matchstick will go away, and this layer of this powder also will not work. You will not be able to ignite it because it is wet. But if the matchbox and the matchsticks are dry, in one strike you can light. You can bring light. You can light the candle. So how to make the mind dry? Who makes the mind soggy? Attachment. Attachment makes the mind, these earthbound souls all the time thinking about the world. Attachment. We need knowledge. We need non-attachment to make the mind dry. How can I light my mind? How can I bring that knowledge? Eradicate your desires. Desires originate from the mind. Ignorance. As I always try to remind you, remember these three places, all these billions of human beings are rotating. From ignorance comes desire. From desire comes action. Shankara says, avidya, kamo, karma. Avidya, kamo, karma. All these billions of human beings are rotating in these three places. Ignorance, desire, action. Why do you work? Because you have desire. Why do you have desire? Because you are ignorant. If you have no ignorance, you have no desire. It is so simple. This is the greatest truth. That all these human beings are moving in this world, functioning, working, duty, these, that, all these big, big words we are using, all have desires. Ignorance, desire, action. Action, desire, ignorance. In this way, we are continuously rotating like this. No escape. So, what shall we do? Stop desire. The moment you stop desire, the mind will stop. The mind will stop. Vasananas, there is one school of Vedanta. They only practice these three things. They will, through their willpower, they will stop desires. They practice tremendous non-attachment. I don't want this world and Maya. I want God. Desire for God will eradicate worldly desires. You see, we replace. That is the way we replace. So what to do? We are talking about Turiya. Please remember, that is our goal. We all came from Brahman, that pure consciousness. We remain in Brahman, and at the end we merge in Brahman. It is just like a wave. It rises on the surface of the ocean, again it dissolves in the ocean. Rising and dissolving, evolving and dissolving. All these human beings you see in this world, they are like floating on the ocean of consciousness. You have a name, you have a form. You will perhaps live in this world 100 years, 80 years, 90 years. Then you will dissolve into that pure consciousness. Perhaps you have desire. That desire will force you again to rise. If you have no desire, you will not rise again. That is the whole mystery of human life. We reincarnate. This reincarnation is possible only through desire. If you have no desire, you will never be born. You will merge into divine with Brahman. No more coming. But we have so many desires, we love to come and enjoy. We fulfill all of our unsatisfied desires. This is the truth. This state, it is the cessation of all phenomena. Prapancha upashama, beautiful word. Prapancha upashama, cessation of all phenomena. Very poetic. It is all peace. Shantam. Peace, peace, peace. Anandam, all bliss. And non-dual. Advaitam. There is no duality. Where there is duality, there is fear, there is problem. Wherever there is two, there is fear. One limits the other. Jad dvaitam tad bhayam advaite bhayam nasti. Upanishad says, where there is duality, there is fear. There is no fear in non-duality. To whom shall I fear? There is no second. Very few people can digest this high philosophy, I tell you frankly. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad we find Maitreyi was telling her husband, when the husband was teaching this highest truth, where the individuality dissolves. Oh my beloved husband, you are trying to confuse me. I am scared to death. If my individuality does not exist, then what will happen? What shall I do if my individuality goes away? Swami Vivekananda had the same problem. When Sri Ramakrishna asked him, here is a cup of syrup, and you are an ant. How will you sip this syrup? Tell me. Ramakrishna asked Vivekananda. Vivekananda said, I shall sit on the edge of the cup and I shall just, I extend my neck and in this way I shall sip the syrup. Sri Ramakrishna said, why? Then Vivekananda said that if I fall into the syrup cup, I shall die. If an ant falls into the syrup cup, what does it happen? The ant dies. Sri Ramakrishna said, my son, if anybody falls into the ocean of Satchidananda, he does not die, he becomes immortal. What a beautiful, beautiful way he explained this phenomenon. If a soul merges into Brahman in God, does he die? He does not die. He becomes one with God, one with Brahman. It is really a wonderful way to think this thing, Pure consciousness. When we experience this pure consciousness, Na priya priyes prishataha. Good and evil cannot touch you. You will be unaffected. You have seen movies. Sometimes you see there is fire, on the screen. You see fire, rain. Does the screen get burnt or does the screen get wet? No. But you see, oh my goodness, perhaps the man is dead in the screen. Is he dead? Perhaps he is enjoying somewhere else. Just see, these movies are so real to us, I remember my first movie when I went to see in my life. How old I was. I think I was 11 or 12 years old. That time I saw my first movie. I walked 4 miles to our town and I went with some of my friends and I sat in the front row. We thought, in the village we are accustomed to see, if we see in the Jatra theatre first, then you can see the actors and actresses. So we sat, and perhaps that is the cheapest ticket we got. There are 4 class, first class, second class, inter class, fourth class. Perhaps we got 4th class ticket and sat, and their movie house you will have to see like this. 3, and our movies are not like Indian movie or American movies. Your movie is 2 hours. Our movie is 3 hours. So I watching like this, 3 hours, your neck will ache. I still remember my first movie. And then what happened, I saw a rail engine, whoosh, 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 whoosh. I was thinking that the engine will fall on me. And some rain and bomb. Some kind of movie. I still don't remember what was that movie. Name of the movie house was Ullashini. It is by the side of the Bhairav river. It is on the upper floor. I still remember that movie house. I was 10 or 11 years old. Anyhow. So if we see the screen, that screen is unaffected. Though you see rain, bombardment, killing, murdering, fire, it is unaffected. Similarly, you must be unaffected. If you know your real I, that I am the Atman, I am neither the body, nor the mind, nor the senses, nothing will affect you. This Maya. Don't take this word seriously. But Swami, who will pay my bills? I'll have to pay my gas bill, my grocery bill, my telephone bill, and all these bills, mortgage payments. Who will pay? You say world is Maya. Be practical. As long in the relative plane, you will have to earn money, you will have to pay all of your bills, but know from the bottom of your heart, I am an actor here. When John is acting in the role of a king on the stage, perhaps he does not have any money, but in the stage he is the king. You see. So we are all acting on this. This world is a stage. We are all acting. The moment John leaves the royal dress, he becomes our John, our neighbor. Just see. This is the Atman. This is to be realized. I am the witness, the pure consciousness, the ever blessed, different from what constitutes the enjoyment and the object of enjoyment, which one experiences in the 3 states. I already explained to you 3 states. Waking state, dream state, dreamless sleep states. We have 3 states. But this state, the 4th state, is transcendental. Let me give you another example. You will understand better. Here is a big fish moving in the Mississippi River. Sometimes our Missouri side of St. Louis, sometimes in the middle of the river, sometimes the Illinois side of St. Louis. This big fish is rotating. 90 years, 100 years, rotating these three places. This side, middle, the other side. Again comes back, this side, middle, next side. That is the three stages. Whereas the St. Louis side is the waking state, and the other side is the deep sleep stage. And middle is the waking stage, dream state. So, this fish is rotating. There is no freedom. You are caught in these three stages. When you get the glimpse of that turiya, through meditation, through samadhi, you will see these three stages are unreal. Let me give another example. Perhaps you have seen, here is a big bird flying through space, through sky. In the evening, the wings of this bird are so tired. It comes very fast towards its nest for peace, for sleep, for rest. The birds come to the nest at the end of the day. So these individual beings, you people work so hard. Then, in the evening, you come back to take rest to your place, to your home, to your bed. That we are doing all through our lives. That real resting place is God, Brahman. We are trying to take rest on the television and the ball game, and some people drink. They do not give permanent rest. Permanent rest comes in deep meditation. Sometimes, sleep also does not give us. If your waking state, if your mind is too agitated, too many desires, if you do too many parties, if you talk too much, you will find your sleep will be disturbed. Even if you talk too much, you will find your whole nerves are agitated, irritated. Do you know how to check those signs? You will find that person's body movement is too much, eyes movement are too much. Some people sit and they move their knees and bodies. Do you know what does it mean? That person's nerves are highly agitated. They talk too much. Vacho Viggalapanam. Swamiji later on used to say, sometimes I lecture so much, my whole body gets so so tired, agitated. It takes long time to calm it down and so that I can get sleep. It is very, very difficult. For the reason the yogis do not like to talk too much. Yogisya pratamo dwaram bang nirodho. If you want to be a yogi, first is you must have a control of a speech. The pure consciousness, which is known as the fourth, when not discriminated like a red-hot iron ball, from ignorance and the consciousness with which it is associated, becomes a direct meaning of the great Vedic dictum. And when discriminated, it gives us the implied meaning. Sadananda Yogendra will explain elaborately this part in the last part of his book. There are two ways in which a word expresses its meaning. The direct way, when the word iron directly signifies the object known as iron. The indirect way, when the word iron, as in the sentence, the red-hot iron scorches, implies fire, which is connected with the iron. Do you know what he is talking about? He is talking about, you say, this iron burnt my hand. Now the direct meaning, the direct way is the iron means this iron rod burnt my hand. Then I'm thinking, iron rod cannot burn hand. Iron does not have fire. Then you think the red hot iron, the fire associated with iron burnt my hand. If I say St. Louis is on Mississippi River, what do you mean? The city is floating on the Mississippi River. Impossible. The direct meaning is, word meaning, St. Louis is on the Mississippi River. If I say, you will say, no, Swamis. St. Louis, you will get the meaning, St. Louis is on the bank of the Mississippi River. That is the indicative meaning. I mean, oh, St. Louis is on the Mississippi, wonderful city. You know, this is called what meaning and indicative meaning. Do you know what the Sadananda Yogendra, what is in his mind? He says, if I say, you are God, you are Brahman, that means I am John, 150 pounds, this is Brahman. No. That pure consciousness which is within John, that pure consciousness is Brahman. When the Guru says, Tattvamosi, thou art that means that you are Brahman. What does it mean? The Jack is Brahman or Mary is Brahman. No. It is the consciousness which is in Jack and Mary, that is Brahman. That Guru indicated that. That is your real I. And this is false I. Turiya, the changeless ruler, is capable of destroying all miseries, all other entities being unreal. The non-dual Turiya alone is known as effulgent and all-pervading. Direct meaning and implied meaning. Sadananda Yogendra mentioned there are 4 great Vedic mantras in the 4 Vedas. In the Rig Veda, Ayam Atma Brahma, this Atman, this individual consciousness is Brahman, is cosmic consciousness. Yajur Veda, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. In Sama Veda, Tattvamasi, thou art that. Oh, I made a mistake. Ayam Atma Brahma is in the Atharva Veda. And Rig Veda, Prajnanam Brahma. Prajna, a pure consciousness, is Brahman. So you understood 2 words, direct meaning and implied meaning. Direct meaning, when Guru says that you are Brahman, that doesn't mean your flesh and bone and this 150 pounds human being is Brahman. He says your consciousness which is within you, that is Brahman. As I say that St. Louis on the Mississippi River, it is not floating on the Mississippi River, it is on the bank of the Mississippi River. That is the way one should understand. All right, if you have any questions, please ask.
Swami, in other contexts, we've looked at 2 different types of samadhi. I would imagine that Nirvikalpa samadhi and Turiya are synonymous. So where would Sarvakapa samadhi fit into the 4 states?
You see, the realm of samadhi, there is a gradation of samadhi. In Savikalpa samadhi, generally perhaps 60 to 75% mind becomes still. Still you are seeing the Sri Ramakrishna's form as blissful form of Jesus. These forms are still playing, but it is a very higher plane. You forgot your individuality, your mind is occupied by God. And Nirvikalpa Samadhi, name and form dissolve. That is the way you try to think that way.
So Savalkalpa Samadhi isn't quite Turiya.
No, not quite Turiya. Still mind is there. Still name and form are playing. But that name and form is not gross things. Divine. Very divine. Do you know why what is the main theme of tonight's discussion? Relationship between you and God, between you and Brahman. That was the main theme. Who is breaking this relationship between you and God? Ignorance. Knock it out. That is the quintessence of tonight's discussion. Who is bringing this divorce, this barrier between me and God? Ignorance. Ignorance. That is the main thing. And this Vedanta teacher will continually beat the drum near your ear. Tattvamasi Shetuketu. Thou art that, O Shetuketu. That is the job of a Vedanta teacher. All the time he will remind you your goal. What is your real nature? Yes?
My consciousness
Yes.
can relate to people, seeing, touching,
Mm-hmm.
looking. And so you're saying that my ignorance is a wall that keeps me from having that same seeing, touching kind of feeling, that kind of experience of realness with God.
You see, the way you are talking about that, your consciousness, when I touch a person, I feel I am conscious, about that person. You see, when you have the experience of that oneness, you will see that your consciousness and that person's consciousness is one. At the time you are touching that person, why? What for?
Feel connection, because I like the gratification of reaching out and experiencing that person.
Still your mind is in the dualistic plane, I want to give a hug to a person or feel his presence or love, this type of thing. That is in the dualistic plane, Still you have a desire to touch somebody, this and that. But when you have experience, you see that you are within that person. Who touches whom? Who sees whom? You see, there is a beautiful section in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Nahi drushtur viparilopana. Tissa kena kam pashyet, kena kam jigret, kena kam vijaniyat, kena kam mannita, vikka taramare kena vijaniyat. When that highest stage, when you achieve, I am talking about that, when that non-dual experience comes, who sees whom, who experiences whom, who touches whom, who sees whom, who hears whom, who knows whom. Do you know what? Still I am touching this and that. Still your mind is in the domain of Maya. You are reaching out. It is nothing bad. I am not talking about bad. Still your mind is trying to get gratification from another person. Your gratification depends upon somebody's presence or somebody's touch or somebody's love. You will be miserable. Do you know what Vedanta says? Learn these two words. Sarvam atmavasham sukham, paravasham dukkham eva. Independence is happiness. Dependence is misery. Dependence comes from Maya. Independence, where there is one, I am standing my own self. That brings tremendous strength and power. So always remember, dependence means misery. We know it. Independence is happiness. All joy comes from independence. I am free. I am not dependent on anybody else. If you depend on somebody, all the time you will be miserable. Don't depend. Only if you want to depend on God. Most of the people are dependent. Oh, if somebody does not